Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World, and I wanted to take a second to reiterate support for Judge Olu Stevens. I kept calling him Justice Stevens, I guess because I keep thinking about the word justice. And Judge Stevens, see, I did it again. Judge Stevens makes me think of the word justice because he's a person that uh, isn't just trying to keep a job, trying to just make money, trying to just maintain his prestige, even though he has a lot of that. He's a strong Morehouse man, good brother. Wife went to Spelman, amazing family. Um, he's not just trying to do that. He's actually taking a stand. He's actually fighting for something worthwhile. He's actually following in the tradition of another great Morehouse man, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., in that he is taking on a system that has abused black people for far too long. Many of us know what has been occurring in America as a result of mass incarceration. Families have been destroyed, entire communities have been obliterated. A large part of the reason that this has occurred is not just because of biased laws that have criminalized blackness in America, but we know about things like stop and frisk, police brutality. We know that black defendants are more likely to be arrested, to get convicted, to be sent to prison once they're convicted, and to receive longer sentences once they go to prison. And the way our system is structured, currently going to prison is pretty much a lifetime sentence. You're probably going to endure uh, a lifetime of trauma that's going to affect you until the day you die. There's a good chance you may be sexually abused, raped. Prison rape occurs on a regular basis. There is a very good chance that you will be marginalized from the economics and political system for the rest of your life. People, this is not by coincidence. This is by design. This is by design. And what we have dealt with in the past is we've dealt with African Americans who've gotten these positions in politics or in the legal system who are too afraid to speak up, who are so focused on getting that big paycheck that they won't do what is simply right. And my argument is, how can you call yourself a person who believes in justice when you're not actually fighting for justice? When you believe that legality should supersede morality? So the reason I support Judge Stevens, keep calling him Justice Stevens, is because he actually spoke up against Jim Crow juries that are sending black people to prison at a rate that would make Adolf Hitler proud. Our prisons have turned into the new concentration camps. This is a place where black people are murdered, raped, and tortured on a regular basis. Now, of course, there are people in prison who aren't black, but it happens the most to black people. As Michelle Alexander illustrates clearly in her book, The New Jim Crow, it's not a coincidence that there are so many black people in prison. In many cases, the states that have the most black prison inmates are also the states that had the most black slaves. Kentucky is one of those places. Now, Judge Stevens, being a man who somehow amazingly believes that he should be treated like a human being, that his people deserve the same respect that he gets, made a simple point. He said, look, this community is 20% black. Why aren't the jury pools reflective of the community? Again, I'm not an attorney here, but from what I understand, every American has a right to a jury of his or her peers. So if I'm a black man and I've been accused of a crime, and for black men, unfortunately, because of the high cost of justice, because of the fact that they torture you into these plea bargains, we don't get justice. There's no justice for black men in America. But we're going in here and we're going in the courtroom looking at a jury pool that's almost 100% white most of the time. And so Justice Stevens, or Judge Stevens, I keep calling him Justice Stevens. I need to just go ahead and call him that because that's what he deserves to be. He needs to be on the Supreme Court. Judge Stevens just simply said it's wrong to have all white juries consistently sending black people to prison. That's no different from having all Nazi juries sending Jews to concentration camps. The principle and the idea is exactly the same. And if you don't think that the mass incarceration epidemic has been as devastating to the black community as the Holocaust was to the Jewish community, you are out of your mind. You need to go study the impact that this Holocaust has had on this country. The difference was that the Nazi Holocaust lasted for a few years, maybe 5 or 6 years. Mass incarceration has lasted 40 years. All the chaos you see in black communities is directly linked to what's been going on with mass incarceration. You cannot have a strong community when you are consistently sending the parents of these children off to the gulags, off to prison, and expecting the children to grow up healthy and normal, where they've been traumatized by the violence in their communities, by the drugs that were put into black communities, by people outside of our control. You don't think this is by accident. Our children have been destroyed by this system. So we need to applaud and support and stand by any black man or woman, or any white man or woman, who has the courage to confront this nonsense. I mean, this is sheer insanity. The fact that you've been brainwashed to somehow make sense out of your own extermination is unbelievable. So, Justice Stevens, I've told him personally that I applaud what he's doing. I talked to him earlier this week. I've let him know that I support any and all efforts to have his back at an event coming up in a couple of days. They're going to actually have a hearing where they're trying to remove him from all criminal cases. So effectively, they're trying to take the outspoken black man, the troublemaker, and remove him from the system so they can seamlessly send black people to prison while using all white juries. Justice Stevens is not asking for preferential treatment. He's simply asking for equality, which in America somehow makes you crazy. It makes you somewhat audacious to even ask for the same treatment that whites get in this system, which we know we're a long way from that. Just the economic issue alone, the fact that justice costs thousands of dollars to obtain, that right there is enough, even without the racial biases, right? So I want you to support Judge Stevens. There's a website that was created, or you can go to supportolustevens.com. That's supportolustevens.com, OLU Stevens, STEVENS. Please go there right away. There's a petition link. Please sign the petition. Please lend your support. Please reach out to Commonwealth Attorney Tom Wine's office. They're the people who are behind all of this. And Tom Wine's office has been accused of prosecutorial misconduct on a systematic basis in the past. They have a dirty past when it comes to violating the civil rights of people in that community. So one thing that we have to understand is that that corrupt power only respects power, meaning that if you don't show up in full force to support this brother and to help him affect the many, many lives that he's going to change by making fair and just decisions, then they're going to walk all over us. So this is our opportunity. You're not going to get too many judges. Most black judges and attorneys, unfortunately, are scared. They're really scared to speak up. They're scared of losing their job. They're scared of losing that Bentley in the driveway. They're scared of losing that big house. They're scared of losing the prestige that comes with being on the bench and going to Harvard. Well, fortunately, we have a few people that understand that life is far more important than the size of your bank account. It's about doing what's right for people. So by standing up, we are literally changing lives. There is some little girl out there who's going to get to see her daddy come home, and who's going to get to grow up with a father because of men like Judge Olu Stevens. There's a little boy out there whose mama and daddy will be in the household with him, and it's going to keep him from having a whole different trajectory in life because Olu Stevens will make a fair decision. It's not about letting people go who commit crimes. This ain't about all that. It's about making sure the punishment fits the crime. And that's the issue in the justice system. It's not to say prison should be abolished or people shouldn't be punished for doing things wrong. We know that they should, absolutely. But the question is, how do you do it in such a way that you're not obliterating an entire community in the process? So let's put an end to Jim Crow juries. Please go to supportolustevens.com. Time is of the essence. This brother's hearing is in a couple of days. You got to go support him. Support him right now. Support him with everything you got. If you have a loved one who has experienced prison torture, if you have seen what a child goes through when their parent is not in the home because of prison, when you see the violence where stray bullets are hitting little children because of lost teenagers whose parents are incarcerated, you understand that this is not just about protecting a man's job. This is about protecting the integrity of an entire community. We got to stand up. We can't sit down on this. Well, that's it. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World. Please take care. God bless. I'm gone. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.